Our country has, despite the apartheid Bantu education system, produced outstanding black engineers, lawyers, accountants, quantity surveyors, medical doctors, nurses, teachers, journalists, and a host of other professionals who have made a huge contribution in shaping the future of our country. Since the dawn of democracy, the ANC also set out to open up opportunities so that black people can enter economic arena, not only as workers, but as owners, managers, controllers of the economy. The growth of the black middle class is in part due to the conscious strategy of the governing party to transform South Africa and ensure that black economic empowerment becomes a reality. Government introduced key legislations, regulations, licensing, budget and procurement, as well as broad-based black economic empowerment charters to influence the behavior of the private and public sectors to drive transformation. However, we're all aware that we are far from reaching our goals. It is for this reason that we are talking about economic freedom and also about radical economic transformation in our country. We need transformation in the workplace, in the ownership, in the control of the economy. The laws dictate transformation, but there are certain practices that block the entry and inclusion. For example, black professionals and business people find it difficult to break into the old boys networks that are therefore unable to find their way into corporate South Africa. 2 years ago, I was invited by the Reverend on some of the areas where we collaborate on the Rainbow Push Coalition conferences, and there was a brilliant speaker, a guy who is probably the topmost man in the NASDAQ, and he stood up there and gave a very inspiring account. And one of the statements he made, and I'm sure Reverend will remember this one, he says he found out, although he was top of the class and top of the various institutions where he has worked, when he was given this job, he discovered that being black meant you have to be better to be equal. Now, I've never forgotten this phrase because it actually explains the challenge that you have to face. And so when we're talking about breaking the barriers, we're basically not talking on issues of black excellence that is about entitlement, that you are entitled to this and that. It tells you the new terrain of struggle that you have to lead in. In each and every sector, you will find that these unwritten rules, they will still block us even though the institutionalized apartheid rules have actually been removed. And this is the issue. So from the minute black graduates leave university, they battle to enter corporate world because they did not grow up inside business networks and other network influences. Their parents did not play golf or go to school with university with the captains of commerce and industry, and therefore are unable to help them to find meaningful jobs. And the trend is known. Most of the black students will tend to get employment on the latter part of the year, irrespective of how well they performed at school. Corporate South Africa thus remains an impenetrable fortress to black South Africans, with just a few that are let through the back door. Black-owned companies also find it difficult to break into the mainstream of South African economy. The bigger established players are also able to outmuscle them in many ways, in all sectors, be it banking, accounting, auditing, etc. Until these networks are dismantled and subtle but powerful forms of exclusions are done away with, it will continue to be an uphill battle to transform the economy. Another hindrance in the promotion of black excellence is the prejudice that we must still eradicate. Black professionals face indignity of the assumption that they are automatically incompetent and inferior. When they assume senior positions, they have to work twice as hard to prove themselves. They are also automatically perceived to be corrupt, as that has been the dominant narrative in the country. And if it was done by the black firm, watch out, something is wrong there. Throughout their careers, they also have to prove that they are capable and that they are also people of integrity. That does not allow for much space for growth and success. The past weekend, we discussed extensively that Mama Winnie should have been affirmed more vigorously, given the role she played in the struggle for liberation. And of course, let us correct that by affirming and supporting black professionals and black business people so that black excellence can thrive. Black professionals and black business people must have faith in themselves and in one another and support one another. And one of the maladies that you will find is when you've got black bureaucrats in government also becoming very doubtful if the company is black, and then they're actually more comfortable if they service a white company. The psychological emancipation has to be a major thrust of dealing with black excellence. The public sector should also provide more support, give business to more black contractors, and also pay them more on time. It's unacceptable that many companies face the threat of closure due to not being paid in time, and these are some of the practical things that we have to deal with. We therefore need to see black excellence shining as municipalities begin to do what they should do, providing lights, cutting grass on the verges of the streets, removing refuse, clearing our neighborhood, providing parks for children to play, building speed bumps, humps to protect children, and run efficient clinics and other services. There are many skilled black professionals who can make these municipalities work, and we need them. We need to have also skilled black CFOs, municipal managers, etc., to deal with the issues of efficiency. This is what transformation will be all about, and this will be what Mama Winnie had fought for. So all of you, when you sit here, you must know your contribution to any profession must be about improving South Africa and making it a better country. And in that way, you are actually taking forward that struggle, just that the terrain has changed. And you must count yourself in as those who are necessary to take this struggle forward. We need lots of men and women of integrity who are going to be there in the forefront and shape the direction that this country must take. We must therefore prepare the ground for a new generation of young, black and gifted South Africans to take advantage of the democratic era, break the new ground, cross new boundaries, break glass ceilings, and so on. Now this for us is very important that when we talk about these principles, they are not racial principles, they are about justice. And this is what we must always keep in mind, that we can all play a role to make sure that ultimately this transformation must happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, there is excellence in every black professional and black person. It needs to be nurtured so that South Africa can benefit from this vast experience that exists. It's important for us to share the sense of inferiority, leave it behind us.